I don't know why I collect brickheads. I don't really collect all the brickheads. Hey, it's Jabba. Welcome to BrickTsar, your home for BrickTsar answer thingy. Hashtag bat, but not this bat. So we're going to be looking at the 8-in-1 Batman Brickheadz set 40748. And I was a little disappointed with this Brickheadz, not the builds themselves, but how they executed this whole thing. First of all, I'll show you the 8 Brickheadz. Now, I did not buy 8 to get this, and we'll talk more about this after I show you the 8 Batman Brickheadz. And in honor of that, I'm wearing a Batman t-shirt a viewer sent me. So yeah, enjoy looking at these 8, and then I'll do my little rant at the end. So hopefully I built all these correctly. So we'll just briefly look at each of the 8 that you can build from this 8-in-1, one at a time. The first one and the only one that you get a printed instruction manual for is the Bronze Age Batman, which I think that's the it's the one that's on the box from the comic books. So I forget the Bronze Age. Is that like 70s to early 80s? But when I saw it, I thought it was more like the classic TV series Batman, but it actually, now I understand why. And it's like my memory of the classic TV series Batman, which is the next one, the second one. It's got more of the dark blue, and I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And it's the classic TV series Batman. The utility belt, I think, kind of just stands out the way they did it, even though it's just a tile and the little studs. But that's the thing from the classic TV series Batman. He's always having to reach his utility belt, and he always just happens to have what he needs. The third one is what is probably my son's favorite Batman, and it's the Batman that really kicked off good superhero movies, the 1989 Batman. And it is, all of these, it's kind of hard for me to look at them and know exactly which one it is. I think the utility belt again on this one is something to help us remember that it's the 1989 Batman. The fourth one is the Batman from the animated TV series, which I have never seen. I think this is also the Batman series that they base the mosaic or the artwork that they have that I have not, even though that looks pretty cool, I haven't decided to get that. But yeah, the animated TV series Batman is what it says here. All right, and then the fifth one is the Batman from the Dark Knight trilogy, which is probably I think it's the go-to Batman series, Frank Miller's Dark Knight trilogy, and yeah, I think it fits it, and also then the Batman versus Superman I think ties in with the Dark Knight trilogy, but I think this is the Batman versus Superman from the movie. The sixth one here. Yeah. I don't know why I'm laughing. Almost like this one looks shorter than some of the other ones because his ears aren't as tall. But yeah, that's the Batman versus Superman. Now the seventh one is the Lego Movie Batman, which is if I understand correctly, other than the printed tile that came with it, this is the exact replica of the Brickheadz. That's the first numbered Brickhead from the Lego Batman movie. Now that one would have had the base plate would have the plate that the 6x6 plate would have had that 2x4 printed tile on it. So that would be the difference. And also if you buy 2 of these, the two printed parts in this are exclusive for this figure. It's not a reversible Batman logo, so you actually, if you buy 2 of these, you have enough of the unique elements to build another one, which I may do with the extra parts. And then, of course, the last one is the Batman, which is based on, I guess, the newest Batman series that has started with movies with the Batman. So that is all 8 of them. So I, I like the Brickheadz, and I almost would have rather this been an $80 pack, and you just could build all 8 of them at once. I kind of understand why they did it. They get the price point a little better, but unfortunately, I think the problem with this Brickhead is if you want to build all 8 at the same time, they make it very hard to do that. So originally when this came out, I was like, I wanted to buy 8 of them, even though it's $25. My justification for that is I'll buy 8, get whatever gifts with purchases I can get, and I know I'll have a ton of extra pieces because this set has 325 pieces. It's like way more than what you need to build one Brickhead. It's like 150% more, or is it 250%? It's like way more parts than you need to build one Brickhead. And so I'd have I'd have a ton of extra parts. So my thinking was I spend, was it 250? No wait, 8 times 25, 200. I spend $200 to get 8 Brickheads. I take all the extra parts and sell them and get all my money back, and then it's like I got it for free. So I wasn't able to do that because Lego has a limit of 2. And that was very frustrating for me. But I guess to look at the bright side of it and a positive of this is 2 is the right number to get all the unique parts you need to build all 8 of them at once. I was worried that some of them, more than 2, like 3 of them would share parts, but they don't. There are some 1x4 bricks that are reversible. So one side is for one build and one is for the other. So I was like, oh, that's frustrating. Because it'd be nice if you could, if they had each of the printed elements unique, then you could get away with only buying one of these. But to save elements, they combined a few of them. So with 2, I'm able to build all 8 of the Batman figures using parts from my Bricklink store. I did have most of the parts. Some of them I had to source from my personal collection. Had to look for a few of them. Nothing's rare or exclusive other than the printed pieces. And like I said, you buy 2 of these, you'll have all the printed pieces you need to build it. And right away when I was set out to build all 8 of them, I built the main model, and then I built the second model. So I knew I could build 2 with no problem. And then I just begun, and I said, okay, what do these have in common? All 8 of them is the base and then the inner parts. So I just gathered a whole bunch of those from my Bricklink store and built the bases, had all the bases ready, and had a lot of the common parts that I knew would be in all of the sets. But yeah, it got a little more challenging as I went along. And there were a few minor parts that I had to dig around, but I did find all of them. I did all this in one day. I was able to find all of the parts somewhere in the basement. I used all the correct parts. I didn't substitute any of the parts. So they are all per the instructions. And so initially, like I said, not being able to buy 8 of them at once was a source of irritation for me. Somebody named Mr. Secret Bean left a negative review. I cannot confirm or deny who is that. Left a negative review on Lego.com for this. But the second and definitely the worst thing of this is the lack of a PDF instructions for the other 7 models. I wish that the instruction manual had just included all 8 models. I don't know why they didn't do that. Other 3-in-1, 4-in-1, they include all of the instructions in printed form. But say, okay, they're not going to do the printed form. Why is there not a PDF? The only way that I have found, let me know if somebody knows a different way, the only way to build these is using the app. And it did take me a couple of times going through it, and also Milo messing around with my tablet, that I realized, oh, okay, because it was doing an animated build with each step. It's like to put one piece on, you had to click the screen like 3 times. I'm like, what on earth? But I finally figured that out
where I could go to each step, but it's still annoying just having to click after each step. And and if I wanted to save it for the future, I don't know how to do that. So hopefully somebody has worked it out, maybe taking screenshots from the app. Because one thing that is for sure, there's going to be a day when that app it no longer works. I know they use it for a lot of the instructions, so maybe they don't have the intent for it to ever go away. I don't have any confidence in Lego. They have made so many apps that have failed. Even this build app, I could see it one day them just not supporting it anymore. And then where would these instructions be? Back in the day we had Lego Factory, and there were sets then that didn't include printed instructions. And the only way you could get those was to go to the Lego Factory website, which is defunct now. It's gone away. But fortunately, people downloaded those instructions, which were PDFs, which are a lot easier to manage. So Lego, please, and I even search Lego instructions. Like you go to the instruction website, you only get the instructions for the main build in a PDF form. That is my suggestion to the Lego group. Keep the app. There may be people that love using the app, but also give us the option to just download the PDF. I would much rather download the PDF and have that. It's so much easier to build. So it's an excruciating build experience, in my opinion. Again, there may be people that like it. It may be more appropriate for the age. What is the age? I don't know what the age is this. Wow. Why is it hard to see the age requirement on this? Usually, used to that it just like would stand out on a box. Who knows? I guess this is for nobody. But yeah, those are my two main complaints: a limit of 2, and the app stinks. The app always stinks. But I love the set. I love the builds. I hate the execution of this set. But I was able to piece together all of them. And other thing is, I was able to do it because I have 756,000 parts in my Bricklink store. I have 2 or 3 million parts in my basement, so I was able to source the parts. The average person may not be able to do it, but if you're going to do this, what I would recommend is having other brickheads. That's the best place to get these parts extra is from other brickheads. I think it'd be more expensive to buy a bunch of these, but you could get 4 of them. It's still not going to help you because I don't know. Yeah, let me know what you've done. The people that have pieced together all of these. Did you buy 8? Going into the stores, the only way you could do that, you go multiple times to the store or online. They wouldn't let me do it. Did you source the parts from other brickheads? You could find some brickhead. It used to be back in the day. You could find brickheads on clearance. I haven't seen that as much lately. There are a few of the ones for the Avatar movie that are still on clearance on Lego.com. Yeah, but let me know what you've done. And that's my video on the 8 Batman and my little rant. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow in a different shirt. Don't know what I'll be talking about.